This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the town of North Haven.
Okay, good. We're good. Good evening. Welcome to the North Haven Board of Police Commissioners meeting for June of 2018. My name is Dave Mons. I'm the Vice Chair of the Commission, and this evening I'll be acting as Chairman in the absence of our Chairman, Joe D'Erico. To my left is Larry Lazaroff, Secretary. To his left, Mark Calafiore, Commissioner. And to my right, Alden Mead, also Commissioner. First agenda item is the approval of the minutes for the May 22nd, 2018 meeting, both regular and executive sessions. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Thank you. Any comments? Corrections? I have just one grammatical correction, and that's it at the very bottom of the first page. Last paragraph, there's a reference to boards, plural. It should be boards, apostrophe S. Sorry. Everything else looked good. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? May I have a motion for approval of the monthly reports for May 2018?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Larry, correspondence.
Yes. The department received many cards and letters expressing thanks and gratitude to the North Haven Police Department for their heroic actions over the past several months. Wishing them a speedy recovery for the officers that were injured, and again, thanking them for their service, and they're very appreciative that they live in North Haven and receive such fine responses. We have a letter from Yale New Haven Health thanking Captain Kevin Glenn and the members of the Region 2 SWAT team who assisted them with the delivery of the Tactical Emergency Care course. And that's signed by Paul Cleany Jr., the Paramedic Program Coordinator. We have a letter from a resident of Homewood expressing concern about the traffic light at Elm Street and Bailey Road. She would like us to consider putting and adding a left turn signal arrow at that point to prevent congestion of traffic, because that's a very busy intersection by the high school and the middle school. We also have a letter from our chairman, Joseph D'Erico, and I'll read this in its entirety. Directed to the Town of North Haven Board of Police Commissioners, Town of North Haven Board of Selectmen. Dated June 25th, 2018. Dear fellow police commissioners and members of the Board of Selectmen, please be advised that effective immediately, I am hereby resigning from my position as a member of the North Haven Board of Police Commissioners for personal reasons. I have enjoyed my time on the Board of Police Commissioners and am very proud of the things the department has accomplished during my years of service. Sincerely, Joseph F. D'Erico, Sr. So just my comment that Joseph served 27 years on this board, I believe 10 years as chairman, and we want to thank him for his service, and we wish him good health and happiness, and thank you for your service. And that would be it.
I'd like to add that it's been a pleasure serving with Joe. I've been on this board about 15 years, and I've known Joe for probably much longer than that, and Joe's a really good guy. His heart and soul was in this commission. His heart and soul was in this police department, and he brought a lot of good things to this department, and I'm surely going to miss him. And he was always acting in a non-partisan way, and everything he did was really for the betterment of this PD and the men and women of this department. So, again, good luck to Joe, and again, I'm going to miss him. And you got the chair, Dave. Thank you.
Well, that's a good segue into the Vice Chairman's report tonight. I too wanted to express my thanks to Joe for 27 years of service and devotion, not only to the police commission, which he loved, but also to the town. He was a loyal public servant who chaired the commission with a steady hand, foresight, and determination. Among many of his achievements, he oversaw the expansion and the training of the department, our CALIA certification, and as many of you know, as of last night, the development and approval of a school resource officer program that will serve all the schools in town going forward. We're all sad to see Joe retire from the commission, and I think we'll all miss him greatly and wish him the best. Procedurally, under the town charter, there's a process for accepting the resignation, and there's also a process for appointing new officers, which will play out over the next month or so. Two other quick things. Not only are we losing our chairman, but with deep regrets, we're also losing our deputy, John Mulhern, who will soon be joining the Branford Police Department as deputy chief. John has served the department for over 25 years. He's an intelligent, dedicated, and progressively minded officer who was instrumental in bringing the department into the 21st century, securing our CALIA certification, and really molding its current configuration. So John, thank you for your dedication and service. We'll miss your steady leadership and sound hand. Godspeed.
Thank you, and if I may, it's been an honor for the past 25 years to serve the men and women of the department, the community, and serve the board. I've truly enjoyed, specifically the past 10 years have been fantastic. When I made deputy chief, my father had commented to the late Aunt DiMatteo that he was excited because I would learn, from one of the best, and I have to say that the chief is one of the best. He's afforded me opportunities that most deputies don't have the scope or the authority to do, and I think we formed a fantastic team, and I'm always grateful for that from the get-go. It was always a team. It was we, and the accomplishments I think are impressive. I think that is a testament to his leadership, to your leadership. And as I start, my new chapter in Branford, I have to say that one of the things during the grueling process that I think helped set me apart was not necessarily my resume or my accomplishments. I think it was the reputation of North Haven, the reputation of the department. And that's all driven, quite frankly, from the bottom up normally. The leader will set the tone and the standards. And when the chief took office, he said, we police ourselves before we police the community. And we do that. But I owe a debt of gratitude for the men and women of this department who have positioned us in such a place with such a favorable reputation that certainly helped elevate me. So I'll miss everybody. I'll still be here in the community. I'm going to stay here in town. But it's been my pleasure to serve. And thank you for the kind words.
As gracious as always. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, John. And just as a former police officer, and you're still on the job, of course, and moving up, it's always nice to see moving up and doing well for yourself. And so it's, again, congratulations, and you did serve this, PD very well.
Thank you.
I should say so myself. With the
I echo the same remarks.
So, yeah.
Thank you for all you've done for us as well.
Thanks.
Tremendous job.
And it's just good. Let me just add that there's not going to be a vacuum, because we do have good people that are on the bench that, thanks to your leadership and Chief McLaughlin, you do have a deep bench. So we can fill the deputy chief, I believe, from within inside, because you have a lot of good people here. So.
And that makes leaving a little easier, knowing
Yeah.
that we're going to give someone else opportunities and they all deserve
Yeah.
it. But thank you.
No, good luck.
Also, as the newest commissioner, I was so impressed with your professionalism, and both of you, of course, and how welcoming and informative and kind you've been to somebody who's just starting out. So thank you so much, and I'm so impressed. I'm a former policeman too, actually.
Well, I'm still going to tap into your wisdom, so
Well, you'll probably have to tap deep. But and I also have to say a word for Chairman Derrico that he was also welcoming and kind and nonpartisan, and I'll miss him too.
Thanks. The only other thing I have, which is old news at this point, but as I mentioned earlier last evening, at a very well-attended town meeting, a new ordinance was overwhelmingly approved under which a school resource officer will be assigned to each one of the 4 elementary schools in addition to the middle school in town. The high school, as you know, already has had a school resource officer. We felt strongly, and the administration championed, that given the unfortunate events that have unfolded around the country, while perhaps not the ideal approach here, the safety of our kids more than justified this program. So I wanted to thank everyone in the department and the administration who worked so hard on this, and thank all the electors out there who supported us last night. And with that, I'll turn it over to the chief for the chief's report.
Okay. Just to start, on behalf of all of our officers here in town, we want to thank Chairman Derrico for his years of service, numerous years of service, and we do wish him the very best. I want to make a personal and public thank you to the deputy chief for his service as well. As we mentioned, he's going off to Branford. He's right around the corner. He's going to be close by. He's still going to remain living in town. But John's been an excellent police officer, sergeant, lieutenant, and a deputy chief. And good many of the officers that are here, he mentored them. And I think, that's a testament to him. I think he's gonna look back or stop into the station, and he's gonna see how these people have grown and professionally, their growth, and that's a good part of him. He's been a confident and a trusted right hand, and we wish him the best. He's gonna have continued success. We know that. Again, the best to you, and I'm sure we're going to frequently see you and your son. As far as our budget, we're continue to be right there on the button right now. We did have some extraordinary overtime expense during May, and that was a result primarily because of the cleanup of that tornado. We didn't think it was going to be that extensive of a cleanup, but it has been. So we've been out there with the highway department. We've also had some increased expenses with some of their other work. They're getting some of the catch basins raised and prepared for the milling and the paving that's going to take place. That, along with some of the replacement costs of some of the officers that are still off injured from the incident back in May, that we can discuss in the executive session. So if we do creep over at all, I don't think we will, but if we do, it will be because of that last week in our fiscal year. This year actually goes into the first week of July. So July 1st, the first week of July's payroll will be in fiscal year 2017-2018. But it's all good at this point. Our support and traffic, support services and traffic. As you mentioned, there was a letter that was written by a resident relating to looking for some consideration for that traffic light at Elm Street and Bailey, and that's an advanced left turn arrow for westbound traffic. We checked the accident history already, just to give you some up-to-date information. There were 5 accidents in the last 3 years at that location. 3 that occurred during the daytime hours, and 2 during the evening hours. We'll take a look at it again right now as far as the signalization of that light. I think it appears to be, the letter seems to be a concern during the school year, when parents or students are driving to school. So it's more of a, not so much an issue of safety or hazard. It becomes more an issue of convenience, I think. So we'll take a peek at it. Right now, I have the person that services our overhead traffic lights. He's retired, and we have to get some PFQs, the RFQs, the request for qualifications, and some requests for proposals to get a new vendor. And then we're going to have to take a look and see how much that would cost, and we're going to have to weigh the cost versus the convenience of getting people in and out of there.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
I know that one of our concerns was the inability to determine if you had a child who's dropping off at the middle school and then going to the high school. So that's why she indicated for a left turn signal. Is there a possibility or a study that can be done maybe for changing the timing itself so that this direction gets a little bit more time, or maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to take a peek at it.
Okay.
Because at the same time, if you change the signalization for eastbound and westbound, you're going to back up the people on Elm Street trying to go to the school, and that's a big bus route.
Okay. Thanks.
Usually, when we try to make an adjustment like that to correct one issue, it's
It's
it affects.
yeah.
There's always something that it affects.
So do you think you'll have some additional feedback for the next meeting?
I would hope that by the
Okay.
next meeting we have something. First, I need to get I have to get an electrician. We have to get a person who's licensed to work on these traffic lights, and we have to, put that out to, like I said, a request for qualifications, RFQ. Then we have to see what they would charge us, and I'd like to see what their work history is when we do select these vendors, because one could tell me it's going to be a certain dollar amount as far as an hourly rate, and it could be low, and we go with that person, and what he does is he just makes up the difference by doing an extra half hour's work or 2 hours work, and now he exceeds the other bid.
Right. So the fact that we're out of school now, that's going to affect your numbers or your data, obviously, at this point anyway.
Right.
Because you've got 9 months of heavy traffic, 3 months of...
Everybody just took the bus,
Yeah.
But
So,
there's a lot of curb to curb, a lot of drop-offs at the school.
Right.
There's an awful lot of it.
so what do you do about that data then? Just wait till September, or are you going to...
I think we can move on it quicker just to see what the timing is.
Okay. All right.
And then, like you said, if you give them 20 seconds more, 20 seconds might give you a couple cars. I don't know. My guess is that if we're going to put in some type of an advanced turn signal, it's probably going to be costly. You're probably going to be putting in some type of new loops in the road. So those things cost money.
Okay. Thank you.
As far as our uniform services, and even our ISU, it's been fairly quiet to a certain degree. Our robberies and burglaries continue to be down for this year. This past month, we didn't have any robberies at all. We only had 2 commercial burglaries, 1 residential break, and 2 stolen vehicles. Both were with their keys in them still. And one of them was recovered in Wilton. So, when we tell people that this is something that is a statewide issue, it really expands the New Haven region. We're outside of the New Haven area on this. Again, the incident from 385 Quinnipiac Avenue from early May. I'm told it'll be months before we hear anything from the Connecticut State Police as far as any information on their investigation, as far as the follow up on that. Our records and professional standards. Officer Flanagan did graduate from the police academy. That was back on the 12th. He's already completed 2 weeks of his field training. He's got 8 more weeks to go. So all things, hopefully he'll be ready to go probably the end of August. The 3rd week of August, he should be ready to go on his own. And that certainly will be a help. We do have a seat in the July 6th class. That's Officer Richard De Palma. He'll begin on the 6th, and we probably won't realize him until his graduation and after his field training. It'll probably be sometime in May of next year. So it's a long time. And all the officers who are in this 3-year cycle for recertification, that's all been completed. The W.T. Benary Scholarship, I have no requests for this month. As far as some of our other business, we did participate with in the Memorial Day Parade back on the 26th, and I'd just like to send a special thank you to the parade organizers, and in particular our third selectman, Sally Boehme, for help recognizing the police department's 75th anniversary during that parade. As the vice chair mentioned, the supernumerary, the SRO program, the ordinance that was created was passed last night. So we are looking at putting supernumerary police officers in the 4 elementary schools and the middle school. And we are expecting school to open on the 29th of August. So it's going to be a short summer, and so we have 2 months roughly to get this program up and running, and I'm pretty confident we will. We have some personnel that we can discuss during executive session that I think are ready to roll. We've already looked at some uniforms, something that would be a little different than what the deputy chief and I are wearing today. Something that would just soften the approach for the elementary school. We've also looked at some potential training dates in late July and early August for SRO training. For just some of the officers have already had it, but this would be just a refresher for them, so it'll be a good start. As far as our radio and building schedule, we did receive our GMP, our guaranteed maximum price for the building, and fair to say that we're within our allowance. We're within our budgeted allowance, so that was a good feeling. Concrete footings, foundations are in place over if you happen to peek through the fence. Some of the framing's begun on the second floor of the building against the exterior walls on the second floor. So we imagine that that's going to move along quickly. That's a piece of the job that should run quick. The only downfall or pitfall so far is we received information last Wednesday that the steel for the new addition on the west side of the building is delayed. It's delayed probably about 4 weeks. But our CM, our construction management outfit there, Downs, and the owner's rep, they're going to attempt to close that gap somehow to kind of push the project along. When I talked to the super over there, he mentioned even working 6 days a week. So they want to get this project done as well. So I don't have an actual completion date at this point. I think that will come along once we find out when that steel is actually coming in. And that is all I have for right now. I have some personnel issues to be discussed on the executive session.
Anything from you, Deputy?
Oh, no, sir. Thank you.
Anything from the commission?
I'm good.
Entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moved.
8:18.
8:18. We need a motion to move from executive session to regular session.
I'll make that motion to move back into regular session.
All in
Sorry.
favor?
Aye.
And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.